Yeah, hi everybody. I thought I'd just really quickly try and show you how I use trend lines, what I do to draw trend lines. Hopefully you can see the screen fine. This is Germany 4-hour chart. As I start looking at this, you can see just from your eyes, price is going up. You got higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. It's a clear uptrend. Price is above the moving average 200. So again, it's supporting up move. So the price is going up, moving average is going up, price is going up. We're not even looking at indicators at the moment. We're just going to look at drawing a channel and using trend lines. So to start off with, there's a couple of ways you do it. So for me, I start looking at a central point. I'm using my eyes and I'm just literally looking to try and cut through using the support and resistances along this line. Let me just select trend line on this tool up here. This is trading view. I prefer MT4. Um, but literally, if I start by just trying to dissect the price, so I'm looking through and I'm thinking, right, this is roughly where does it go? And I look at that, and it might not be perfect the first time, but this is how I approach it. You can see it's a clear uptrend. Once I've got one price in, I can right click on that price, just click clone, and then I can move it around. Now, what I'm starting to do, I mean, that's not bad. That's just from my eyes. I'm looking at boundaries. Trading is all about probability. So we're not trying to be perfect here. We're looking at using a combination of techniques. We're trying to go from a 50-50 where price goes up or down to improving our odds. And obviously we want odds to be 85-90. So just to recap what I've done then is I've found a central point. You can change this around where you want it. But then I like to have two parallels either side, and generally in the middle is where there's congestion. So generally is where you see loads of areas. And again, if I do that, I can probably move this down slightly. Here's a clear channel. It's an uptrend. We can see everything in here. What I noticed, a couple of things as I give you commentary. I can see moving averages now getting weaker actually. Price is away from it. Price hasn't actually touched moving average since you can see on the screen 14th of May. So we're due for a pullback. Anywhere around here, it could be a good opportunity. We've got moving average, we've got lower trend line. It would actually fake a lot of people out. So if it comes below there, a lot of people probably think the channel's broken and they'll enter short, and then bang, price goes back up. Easy for the big players to do that. What I like to do is look at areas where we've had big spikes to the upside, big spikes to the downside. And what we'll start doing is we'll see in just like around this kind of area. We're looking for areas of support should the channel break. So you can see here, this was bang, met sellers. Kind of broke on up through, came back, tested up, tested a second time. I'm looking ideally. I mean, what you got to remember, this is an uptrend. Until it's broken, until it goes down, is a clear uptrend. You want to see if price breaks down here, holds, and then comes down. But this video is all about trend lines and channels. So again, you're using your eyes first to identify, is it uptrend, is it downtrend? This is hourly 4, so it depends on your time scale. I always start with monthly, then go to weekly, then daily, hourly 4. If it's an intraday scalping, then we're looking at minute 5, even minute 1. Just because we're on DAX at the moment, I'll just double click. I'll bring up some of the tools I got at the moment. Basic observations, and again, you need to look at longer time frame first. You've got awesome oscillator is negative, so that's technically you sell when it's below the line. If I zoom in, it started to go green, although the candle hasn't closed yet. You've got RSIs, it's creeping up, but it's not a great risk reward. Really, when you're in a channel, I'll just close this down again. You want to be buying low here, and you want to be looking at profits when it touches the top. Again, you want to take profits here. You're not really in a buy or sell zone. There's nothing wrong with waiting until that happens. So I would be in no huge rush until we come down to some kind of area of support. That's where I'd be looking at doing it. At the moment, the odds are to go up. But you could argue we've retraced. If I just throw in some fibs, you can see it's retraced a whole big move from obviously when we started dropping in February. This is how I would draw a fib. You could put it the other way. This is arguably upside down because I like to look at the 76.4, but it doesn't matter when you know what you're looking for. You see it come back up here. If I show you on here, I'll just show you when I talk about my gaps. This is a really key point because previously, you know, the big boys, before this happened, you had a huge run. This chart won't scroll back any further than that on the hourly 4 chart. So switch it to daily to see it. Price came up, bang, support, bought, bang, support, bought, bang, buy, and then it just dropped. It fell away. It never really came back up to test that. Small little spike there, drop, fell away. It's then come all the way back. So when you put that support on there, you start thinking, well, hang on a minute, it's rejected it once. If I'm going to sell it, if I'm looking for a sell setup, I'm going to come down, put the fib here, come back up. Let me move on this side for you. I'm really going to come I'm looking for 1A, B, C. Because here, arguably, if I zoom in, I'm looking at a 5-wave move down. And forgive me because I'm not trading this all the time at the moment. This is just what I can see in the chart. So I come down here, I go A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What I would be looking at and what the setup, if it comes, will present itself. Let's have a go. And again, MetaTrader 4 is better for this. Now you're looking, you've either got an ABC and that move is finished and it could be dropping, or there's a question of whether that's a 3, we get a 3, and then we get a final move up and then sell. So again, for me, when I look at the US indices breaking their channel support, I think in DAX is probably a short. This you could arguably enter a short here. I wouldn't really want to because the risk reward is closer to the support than what it is for the sell. So it's just interesting one to watch. This is all about trend lines. When I start now plotting a potential trend line to the downside, what you can do is use these 2 peaks, which have happened already, because you want to predict. Technical analysis, a lot of people just use historical. It's easy for me to go back and say, well, that's what happened. The point is we're trying to predict what happens next, and that's how we're going to make our money. I'm going to look here. You could, there's not an obvious sign there. You know, one of the patterns you potentially are looking at here as well is actually that could be a shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder, head. That's an inverted head and shoulders pattern. There's the neckline. If that neckline breaks, then actually you've got a really good move to the upside. So that's a real quick video, just a quick insight into how my brain would work if I'm looking to trade this. I'll be looking to sell up here, sell there, potentially sell a break. I don't really like those because, like I said earlier, you get many fake outs. I'll show you what the setup would be, or could be if you're looking to sell. You want to see price come down. Price then comes back up to close any gaps or anything, any positions that are stuck here. Then you do that, and that's how it happens. That's generally the price action. Sometimes it can just fall away, just plop, you know, and you don't want to catch that. You don't want to be going long as it just drops because you'll get burnt. Ideally on the sell set, we don't chase this drop. Wait for it to move, come back up because price will now. There's 200 moving average. Price be below it, then come up. You want to see that as some kind of resistance. You want to see that rising trend line support. Now is rising trend line resistance. Come down, break up, sell up here, tight stop loss above, bang, and that's your profit. So don't chase the moves. Hopefully, just practice that with the trend lines. They do work. Trend lines constantly work. I'll just show you here, just as I'm looking at this, another example of when you trade the breakout and then the retest. So here you had a big spike. It came down. Probably hit 1, 2. So you look for the second test ideally. So support, bang, broke above, retest, bang, retest, bang. Ideally, if you can get in that second retest, and that's perfect. But hopefully that helps. I'll see if there's some way I can send this to you. Enjoy the sun.